Welcome to the Covalence Podcast. What's up, everybody?
Yo, it's been so long.
Has it?
No,
Maybe.
3 weeks.
something like that.
Yeah. Maybe a month? I don't know.
Maybe.
I'm finally starting to get settled into my new place and
I'm glad you are.
new arrangement. No, you don't like your new place?
I love it. Well, I love it. Other than two things: one, not fully unpacked. It's probably not going to happen until the lease is up. And two,
how long is your lease?
You're still
2
not
years.
fully unpacked? You were like talking shit to me over the fucking...
It's not my stuff. And to be fair, somebody was or is currently injured, so they can't help me do things.
What did you do to your wife?
She's not my wife. But no, she bent over to pick up a box and
Oh, damn.
couldn't straighten back up. So
Really? Come on.
yeah.
I can't help. Anytime I see
Raw
my
dog,
girlfriend
son.
bend over for
Raw
any
dog.
reason, it's like, I'm right there.
You have to.
I have to. Yeah.
Like
I
whatever
just-
whatever
no.
appendage is closest, that's
It's
what you
like
go with.
it's like
yeah,
a dog. You have to mark your territory. Like you, no matter how much they've peed, if they find a new spot, they got
gotta
more
pee.
pee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always a dribble.
There's
Always.
always something.
No, so you're settled in. Oh, well, let me say the second thing is fireworks. Fucking totally didn't even think about it.
From where?
Yeah,
From
Well,
SeaWorld?
The Midway, Seaport Village, Coronado. I'm
What
right
are they
there
What
now.
are they? Oh, I thought you meant they're doing them right now.
No, somebody
So
did
say,
them like
when are they
last
doing
night, and I'm just sitting there watching, getting caught up on The Walking Dead, watching this past episode, and all of a sudden, I was like, "What the hell?" Car alarms going nuts. I was like, "What is going on?" Go and look outside, and it's just like it's apocalypse now. Flashing lights,
Like professional
Righteous.
fireworks.
Yes.
Oh, what
No.
was the occasion?
I don't know. Somebody said on Reddit it was San Diego 1 or something. I don't remember.
San Diego won what?
Maybe a goals game?
Like ONE, not WON.
Oh,
So yeah.
that makes even less sense.
I don't know. Maybe it was for the day without a woman.
They
I don't
named
know.
another city San Diego, and we're like, we're at number one.
Yeah, we're the first one. Well, there is a San Diego, Texas. So
Why are all like the duplicate name cities in Texas?
There's a Paris, Texas?
Because Texas is huge.
Yeah.
They ran
There's
out
a
of
Baker-
names.
There's a Bakersfield, Texas.
Yeah.
Why would you need two of
yeah,
them?
there's a
one
lot of
is
space to go.
one is more than
There's
enough.
of all the ironies,
You've
you know,
done enough
there are 6
damage.
Oxfords in the southeastern U.S. Really? Did you need 6 of them? I mean,
Do you need one of them?
yeah.
Well, because of the college, but that's it.
Well, I mean, still though. I mean, Oxford, Mississippi is going to be the funniest thing I've ever heard. Just me.
Never been
But-
in the South. It's-
Yeah,
So-
they're like, what? So, speaking of the Toothless Brigade, so you live up north, and so,
Bro Brigade up there.
so you're into it. You're loving the place.
Yeah, no, but it's so different now.
What do you mean?
Well, I went
Quiet.
from just living with just me and my girlfriend in our apartment, and now we live in a gigantic fucking house. But there's 2 kids and my sister, and
Yeah, how is it? How is the transition living with kids and family?
there's tons of space. So there's no like crowding. There's no like
But you still hear them.
no, not really.
okay.
No, the house is like big enough. It's like there's room and space that has no assignment like at all. You know, there's like a room that's doesn't even. It's got a broken TV in it because it doesn't fit in the trash can.
Wait, like an old school TV?
No, a flat screen that got smashed during the move. Not mine. It was my sister's. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Damn.
Dude,
That
you know what?
sucks.
The thing is flat screens are so fucking dirt cheap now.
They are. I mean, I've been getting emails since the
Why do you
holidays.
think that one's
you
been
get-
sitting there for a year and a half now?
Is it broken?
The HDMI doesn't work on it. The motherboard for the HDMI
Just
broke.
throw it away
It's like $150, but I could just go buy a new one
for
for
$300.
yeah.
Oh, you can find like a 40-inch screen for less than $200 now.
Yeah, no, easily.
So
Especially if you're not even in the 4K market, like they're practically
nothing.
free.
Yeah.
They like give them away at Walmart. It's fucking.
I need to go to
ridiculous.
Walmart then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go, Walmart or Fry's, either or. You're going to find one dirt cheap always.
But the kids are
Never going to
interesting.
Fry's ever again.
I'm glad that it's 2 boys. One's 8 and one's 10. One makes you want to have kids, and one makes you never want to have kids. Like they're so fucking different. They're so like diametrically like opposed.
Do they get along with each other?
Yeah, no, they do for the most part. But like one of them doesn't like to eat fucking anything. He doesn't like to eat any like real food. He does. Have you ever met a child that does not like macaroni and cheese? He does not like macaroni and cheese.
That's weird. Is he a picky eater, or he just doesn't
No, he's
like?
super picky.
Oh, okay. Well, you
It was
were
basically
saying.
me.
Yeah,
I didn't really like macaroni and cheese. It was all right.
God.
It was
You're just
alright.
really
Well, you
quiet
guys
over
would be
there.
best friends then.
probably.
He doesn't like any beans. He just doesn't like anything. And it's funny because
Is he a hipster?
He like
Is it gluten-free shit?
No, if he'd like
Is this organic?
he's definitely not.
like
Come to everything
non-GMO, gluten-free beans. That's what he wants.
Is this free range chicken?
That's how I imagine it.
Do you know somebody like that? Is that where that came from?
No, just a lot of stereotypes. So he doesn't eat anything, or like, does he only like? Is it osmosis? He just rubs it on his face.
It's just weird because
absorbs it?
I don't have any like any of my friends that have kids. They just disappear from my life.
Yeah.
And I like kids. I'm good with kids. But I just don't have. I never had like the constant interaction to know like what's going on in little dudes' worlds. You know, like what does like a 10-year-old bring to the table? You know, what's his circle of like stuff?
come
What's
on,
he
video
into?
What's an
games.
average day for a 10-year-old?
Video games are the common ground now.
Oh, dude, don't. Okay, I'm gonna fucking go off, dude. This fucking floored me. One of the kids has an Xbox 360, and the other one has a PlayStation 3. PlayStation 4 is the newest one, right?
Yeah.
So they're one generation down from the current model.
Yeah.
They've got some video games, but like not very much. I already knew the Xbox. The Xbox from day one, you cannot play online unless you have a fucking like gold member like account,
Yeah.
right? Otherwise, it's this giant computer that does fucking nothing. Can't even play DVDs. It cannot play Blu-ray movies.
Not Blu-rays. They can play
Right.
DVDs.
Regular DVD.
Yeah.
Yeah, where the fuck are those? Right next to the A-tracks. And then one of them, I've been interested in playing the new Battlefield game because I really liked the old Battlefield one on the original Xbox, and they have it for PlayStation. I'm like, oh, sick, dude! Let's fucking play this shit. And you now have to fucking pay to get on to play people multiplayer on the
Yes.
PlayStation.
PlayStation. Yeah. It started with PlayStation 4.
It's such bullshit.
You have they charge you a fee to log on to multiplayer.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
What?
You must have a
It's a monthly
PlayStation
thing.
Plus account. Yep.
How much
That's
does
what-
that cost?
$50 a year or
yeah.
something?
That's why.
Is it
that's
You,
why
you have to
only
buy it.
play
You
the
have to
computer
buy
now.
it by
Yeah.
you have to buy it by year. Otherwise, if you try to buy it for like a month, it's like $12 a month.
Yeah.
It's more than fucking Netflix.
Yeah, that's retarded.
And it's not like you're buying a catalog like Netflix. Is, oh, I don't care if Netflix was $10 a month. I don't even know what it is because I always use somebody else's account. But I'm pretty
There's
sure
just one account that
I'm
gets
pretty
shared
sure
around
that
the world.
Netflix is like around $7 or $8 a month, isn't it?
Something like that.
Yeah, it's gone up.
Does anybody here pay for a Netflix account?
I
No.
do, but I give it. My mom uses it.
Oh,
I
okay.
uses somebody else's. Yeah.
She has the DVD only. option.
Okay, but you think about like, okay, let's just chalk it up to
That
$10.
still exists?
Yeah.
$10
I
and you
haven't
get
received one for a
like
while.
an unlimited viewing supply of content.
Right.
Yeah.
You buy the PlayStation, you got to spend your $50 or $60 on the game, and you cannot play with anybody unless you pay more money
Yeah.
for the rest of your life.
Their excuse is that they give you free games every month, but they're like old or terrible
yeah,
games. that you
Banjo
don't
Kazooie,
care.
go fuck yourself.
No, hang
like
on. When I
Banjo-Kazooie.
when I had
Pretty
my
good,
PS
yeah.
Plus account, when I was paying for it, I actually got a few quality games. Mirror's Edge, which is fantastic soundtrack, and the gameplay is nice. They thought about how to do it a little bit. Infamous and Infamous 2, those were two really good games. Got those for free. Yeah,
But those
they're-
are all still like 3 years old.
Yeah,
like
they're.
4
I mean,
years old.
Those are
this
pretty
is a
old
couple of
games.
years ago, but yeah, they were pretty old back then, and they're still.
I was
good
just
playable
appalled.
Games.
I was appalled.
I agree
I
with
couldn't
you, though.
fucking
I
believe
hate-
it.
I
I was
hate the
like,
games
this is
built
fucking
to you
awesome.
for
You guys
money.
can't do anything with these fucking devices. At
Well,
least the PlayStation lets you like use the Netflix app and the YouTube app You know,
Xbox
like
lets
those-
you do that too.
Oh, without having the monthly thing.
Yeah, you don't have to have like I have an Xbox One and I don't have a monthly.
It's just
thing.
a joke. It's like if you have a PC, you can literally download Steam and you just get a fuck ton of free games and demos and just like there's all those shitty games that the other people are hawking to you as like a bonus. Like most of those are probably on Steam for free or a couple of bucks.
Yeah.
Right? You know, $2, $3 games, and you can just play for hours and hours and hours with people. So no, I don't relate with them on any fucking video games. They think like they're like, oh, you know, go easy on Jeff, go easy on him. Just like fucking, you're like little savages in the jungle. I'm gonna come here with a machine gun while you got a fucking spear. Like they're trying to like first person shooter me, and we're playing split screen. It only took me like 4 seconds to basically memorize the map. So then I just see the little guy coming at me like from any direction. It's like you just cannot you're not gonna fucking get me.
Were you the guy when the split screens, when you played those games like Nintendo 64? Did you look at where other people were and went and found them?
That's like asking me to not hear what you're saying when you're talking to me. Like I can't not understand the words you're saying. If I'm looking at the screen, the other ones are just in my peripheral. Like I just know where you are. You know, you call them screen peekers or whatever. There's no way
We
around
used to
that.
tape like a big divider down the
Oh,
screen,
you're
and
a
you had to sit
fucking-
really
you're a loser.
close.
You're a loser. Just man up, dude. You just got to Mexican draw that shit. Like Mexican standoff. Like you know you're both looking. You know, it's just going to come down to better staying a few seconds ahead of the other
Who's
person.
got the better
mentally.
response time? Or whatever. Yeah.
Exactly.
So you're like, back in my day, I didn't have to pay to play my game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're playing games that I'm like, this game is free on the internet. Why are you fucking buying this? This makes no sense.
Well, not only that, not only do you have to pay for the monthly or the yearly service to actually have access to online, but now each game has downloadable content to where if you don't pay the extra $30 or $50 to download the new content, you can't play online anyways because everyone has the new maps, and if you haven't paid for the new maps,
that started a while ago, especially like with the Halo 3s and the Call of Duty Modern Warfares. Yeah, where you get the DLC content and you're just like, fuck, all your friends paid the $15 and they're playing all the new maps. You're like,
can't play
sorry,
anything.
can't invite you to our party. You're a poor loser.
Fuck you guys, man. I'll play by myself.
But like, I don't know, it's fun. They're cool. Like one of them just keeps to himself most of the time, the older one, and the little one just wants to do anything and everything that I do, to the point where if I'm cooking dinner, he's like, "Oh, can I help cook dinner?" And I'm like, "Yeah." How old are you? 8. Here's a butcher knife. Like cut up some fucking vegetables. You know, like
Don't cut your finger. I don't want to eat it.
He like takes out the trash. Like he sees me cleaning up the house, you know, so he's just like, oh, I just got to do what the oldest male like in the house is doing. And the other one's like doesn't want to fucking eat real food. He says like, oh, I'm not going to have dinner. And then he stays up late at night. Oh, so this is the other thing. So I see like the type of food that the kids are into. There's these things. There's a snack called Uncrustables.
oh yeah.
those have been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Really? Oh my god!
The fuck are Uncrustables?
Terrible.
What
Dude,
are they?
They're frozen
it's
peanut butter and
jelly
jellies.
sandwiches, and it's like they're not meant to be all crumbly like bread, and they
No, they
There's
have
there's no
there-
crust.
There's no
They're cut
crust.
in a circle.
No, they took a sandwich. They took a regular sandwich.
Yeah.
Then they took like your standard 8-ounce like glass, and they just cookie cuttered the center out of it, threw 30% of the sandwich in the trash, and then this is what you get. And it's just like this small little like wafer that has frozen peanut butter and jelly like in it. I don't get it. I'm like, make a fucking peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Why is this? Why are these frozen in the fucking?
Do they come in
freezer?
like a Pringles tube or like
No,
in
they
a
just
box?
come.
No,
No,
but
they
they should.
like a sleeve of Oreos?
They
It's like a box
maximize
or a
waste
bag.
and trash as much as possible.
You
like
can find it
every
all
one of them-
individually wrapped.
Every one of
You
them's
can find
individually
them
wrapped.
at your local grocery store, like 2 or 3 doors down in the freezer section next to the pizza
Or
rolls.
at Costco and get a bunch
Yeah,
of
the
them.
pallet of
pizza
them.
Why
rolls.
would you?
That's what I'm saying. Like I would never eat fucking pizza. I didn't even own an oven. I mean a microwave. I did not own a microwave
No, I
at
can,
my other place.
Yeah, I can
I
second
don't-
that.
That's
I don't
hard.
eat shit that's made in a microwave.
No, you put them in the oven.
Everything should be made in the oven, even if you're going to eat something as disgusting and lowly as pizza pockets.
But pizza pockets are different than pizza rolls. Pizza rolls are great. pizza, like Hot Pockets, Pizza Pockets. Those things are disgusting.
Well,
And they will run
he
through
eats
your-
those too. He eats both of them. He eats the pizza rolls, the pizza pockets, like pizza everything. But then I'm going to ask him, "You want cheese on that?" "No, I don't like cheese."
You're eating
You don't,
cheese like
you don't
product
like
release.
cheese?
Yeah.
What the fuck, bro? Like, what do you eat? The list of food he eats is like the other thing too is like you start to see how much more of a difference there is from you and your younger self. So, like, I don't know how long it takes you guys to take a shit, but you know, I'm in the bathroom for several minutes, especially if I got my cell phone. You know, I might be taking a shit for like 15 minutes.
Sorry, catch up in the news, man.
Yeah.
You are the prime market for a bidet because the shit's going to get dried and crusty on your ass sitting there playing.
No,
on
I got
the-
wet wipes. I'm good.
Oh yeah, you know what those are called? You know when they clog up the system because they don't dissolve. It's called a.
I don't give a
fatberg.
shit. That's not my problem.
Oh,
I pay more for water now, so that's fine.
Really?
Yeah, we all got the water rate hike during the drought, which I wish would come back.
I don't think I noticed.
No, I'm not gonna revoke that. Wait, what's it called when you shove a
Fatberg.
a fat bird?
That's the official term. It's because it's the wet wipes and other non-dissolvables
Mm-hmm.
that get gunked up with like cooking oil and fat and grease that gets flushed
People
down the drain.
throw all kinds of shit down there.
Yeah.
Dude, my girlfriend's
It's
like
terrible.
tosses her fucking contact lenses in there. I mean, how many chicks probably
Jeez.
flush tampons? You know, down there. There's all kinds of stuff. Cats and dogs. You know, like abortions.
There's just like a chihuahua going
Yeah.
through a pipe.
There's all kinds of shit.
Don't want
going
this
in
fucker
there.
anymore.
How many goldfish are probably down there? Think about that.
So many.
Yeah,
They're
every
dead.
time the fair goes through, there's tons of goldfish in the system.
Narwhals and shit.
But
Yeah.
so when these kids take a shit, it comes out like a fucking rocket. Like they spend more time wiping their ass than they do actually shitting.
They're in there longer to piss than they
They're
are to
like
shit.
they're like one of those flight touchdowns when they're just practicing landing. Like the wheels just hit the fucking just hit the pavement and then bounce back. That's their ass. It just hits the toilet seat. Boom, done. And then they're back up on their feet like
Drops
wiping
the
their ass.
payload.
Yeah, it's just like it's fucking crazy.
So wait, when you were a kid though, did it take you that long?
No, I never understood why my dad was in the bathroom for.
But now
for that
you
long.
know. Now you know.
Yeah.
Well, that's unhealthy.
'Cause-
Man. You need to see somebody about that.
No,
It's
actually, but
getting
I
longer.
changed my gamer tag to Tantric Shits. That's my that's my gamer
You've
tag
got-
on Blizzard.
Rob has the stool. You have the little footstool.
The squatty potty?
The squatty potty. Yeah.
Squatty Pie is good. Good investment.
Do you still use
14 whole dollars. Yeah.
I think
Seriously?
I'm gonna make one.
Make one
Yeah, I think it's
of aluminum foil and just like ball it all up.
well, it's one process.
All the boxes from his wet wipes.
Could be
Use
done.
those.
Use the busted ass TV. Like recycle that bitch. Not that TV. The one that's all
I'm
fucked
just,
up.
I know, but it's like the table saw and glass just doesn't seem good.
Nah, not a good idea.
No.
Okay. Fine. Whatever. Don't be eco-friendly. Well, shit, man. What else do you and the kids do? Like, do you ever pit them against each other? Like, do you ever try to fuck with them?
No.
No?
I'm
You will
like
now.
I'm constantly trying to correct behavior all the time. Constantly trying to like just.
Do you use a spray bottle or is it like a
I should. Yeah. No, the thing is
can of rocks, dude? That's what you got to do.
I just when they do something bad, we have a long and miserable talk about it.
God.
Over and over. And we just we go, come here, and we go sit in the other room and we sit down, we just look at each other and take away their cell phone and we just keep talking about the issue.
You make them
whatever.
socialize. That's the punishment.
Yeah, I make them socialize. Like we're gonna talk. Why are you doing this? I asked
what's
you.
gonna- in
I
about
asked you
3 or
not
4
to.
years, they're going to start calling him just Unk.
Unk.
Yeah, and start giving him static. That's what's going to happen.
No, they used to call me Uncle Jeff a while ago. Now they just call me Jeff. But it was really weird because we were at dinner the other night. We were at the Melting Pot for Jackie's birthday,
Fondue. And happy
Yeah.
belated birthday, Jackie.
and the kids asked my sister. She's my stepsister, and they're like, "Would you?" They asked her if she would date somebody like me. Like that, in their brain, they're like, "Oh, we want Jeff as our sister,
Father figure.
Yeah, we want
Yeah,
him
yeah.
as the father figure. So somebody to be like Jeff." And I'm just like, cool. I'm not being hard enough on you. Like I make them do chores, come home because they're fucked because I'm home. Like they're not coming home to an empty house. And I try to run a super tight ship. I make them, clean up their dishes, take out trash, do all kinds of shit. I torture them.
good.
Otherwise, they won't go to sleep.
Yeah,
Like, you
gotta
have to
burn that
fucking
energy
wear
out,
them
dude.
down.
Yeah, you have to burn that energy
Have to
out.
wear them down.
Mhm. They're like dogs.
Like, and when we first started moving in, they would,
Start gnawing
they would
on
ask
shit.
me all the time, Jeff, what are you doing? Jeff, can we play video games? Jeff, can we do this? Jeff, we could do that. And then finally I was like, motherfuckers are doing chores. Like, you got nothing to do and you're fucking bored?
I'll give you something to do.
Yeah, and now, like, they don't fucking come ask me, like, you know, what's going on, like, anymore. They fucking know. Like,
You know,
if
this is a business idea that's just burgeoning. Because to me, the kids are just slave labor.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. And you don't even have your own. You're using your stepsister's kids. That's beautiful.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to make them clean up after themselves. Because
You
they
need to
leave
work it
shit
into where
everywhere.
They clean up after you.
Yeah, well, I mean,
That's
to an
phase
extent.
two. That's
Yeah,
phase
that's
two.
phase two, for sure.
Okay.
Baby steps. Baby steps.
Phase 3, make them clean up after other people outside of your place. And then those people pay you for that service.
I'm still here's the thing: is there's a fine there's. I'm trying to figure out where the sweet spot is because no one's asked me to be the nanny,
Sure.
you know, or this whatever implementing like force of authority.
Yeah, you don't want to overstep your boundary.
Yeah, but my sister just seems like just whatever, and just tell them. Like one time they weren't listening to her, and she's like, "Can you go yell at him?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah!" Just went up there,
So
like
down.
just fucking
Yes.
like yelled at him. But I don't like doing that.
Christmas
I
came
I
early
prefer
this year.
honestly. The one of them's old enough. I had the VR system set
Yeah.
up, and the older one was teasing the younger one, and he made him cry like a bunch of times. And we kept having this talk, and then I basically told him, "You have now lost your virtual reality privileges. Like you don't get to play. Everybody in the house is going to play, but you." And he's never played, and the other kids never played, and he waited till like 3 a.m. till I had actually set the whole thing up. And once he kept checking, how's it going? I'm like, it's going good. He's like, I know I don't get to play, but I just wanted to see how you were doing. And so eventually when I got it
Fucking
fixed
kids.
up, he's like, he told me that he was going to apologize to Braden and that he wrote like a letter, like an apology letter, all this stuff. And I was like, all right, well, you give it to him tomorrow. And if Braden that's his younger brother. If he says you can play, then you can play. But you still cannot play for the first 6 hours. Everybody else is going to play for 6 hours before you even get a turn, right? You still have a consequence because the little brother, he's cool as fuck. He doesn't give a shit. He's going to be like, yeah, I forgive you. Thanks, bro. Let's go. You know, he's not
Because
going to
his
try
little
to,
brother, yeah, he doesn't care. Yeah,
he
he's
doesn't
like-
care.
Yeah, he just have fun.
And then when I told his mom, she's like, the letter was like really well written. And she's like, oh yeah, he's like a professional letter writer now. Like he writes
he
letters
gets
like
so much
all the
shit.
time. Yeah, he writes in letters. I'm like, motherfucker. Like he
played
banged
you.
out that letter in
Played
like
you, dude.
5 fucking minutes.
Played your
Well,
ass.
he still had to suffer for 6 hours, you know, while everybody else played. But yeah, I don't know. And you can see like he's good at like trying to manipulate. He knows like keywords to say, you know, to try to come back from doing something wrong. He plays like, what do they call that? Like plausible deniability.
Sure.
Like he uses that a bunch, you know, or he's just like, oh, I was just joking, you know, like and I sit down like, Elijah, you know, you're a really smart dude, but you're not smarter than me. And I see right through your bullshit.
Yeah. Did you
know?
say that exactly to
Yeah.
him?
Oh yeah. No, I talk to him just like
A person.
regular people.
Yeah.
I talk to them just like regular people. But yeah, so that's been fun and sort of wearing because it's like it doesn't ever stop. It doesn't like they don't stop.
Okay, so to me, being the age that I am, I have to ask.
Which is
1,000 million?
At least.
11D1. So, no.
11D1.
Do you...
It's a good age.
Thank you. It is. Do you believe in corporal punishment? Do
No, I don't think there's a need because
You don't think that spanking a child or anything physical would ever come into the equation at all?
No, I'd never hit them ever.
Well,
I would never.
not just you in particular,
I would never hit my kid. No.
but would it be okay if you saw your stepsister hit them?
Oh, I wouldn't fucking intervene at all. That's her deal. It's her kids. I'm not gonna fucking say. My dad fucking beat me like when I was younger, so I know.
Like beat you unnecessarily, or
Beat me
because you-
unnecessarily. Yeah, for sure. My dad fucking used to like hit me with like the cord of an iron, like the plug cord. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, yeah,
like
that's
fucking
unpleasant.
like hard. Which is weird because my dad's a huge fucking pussy. Like my dad's like I don't know what happened between me being like 10 and then after that. Because my dad's not like aggressive person at all. I guess as a kid, I just really fucking frosted his flakes, you know, like over shit.
Yeah, it was probably really stressful being like when the kids are first growing up. You're like
My dad and my mom had a super shitty relationship too, so there's just probably all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, I don't. It doesn't affect my relationship with my dad.
right.
I know he's a loser. I accept him for that. That's the way it is.
Yeah,
But
But it affects how you look at the kids now, whether or not you think that's appropriate.
I just don't think it's necessary. There's easy ways to like make their life a living hell without ever laying a finger on them.
that's psychological warfare.
Yeah, you just find out like what's the most important and valuable to them. You just take that shit away.
Crush it.
You just you just take it away.
You don't think so in hitting kids either, Rob? Like, would you
No.
would you spank kids?
No.
Not even like they're annoying you, like get the fuck out of here. A little smack us at the head.
No.
Throw a chancla at them, like the little.
No, the only time I would do that is if you're stopping them from immediately harming themselves. Like if they're about to like reach up and grab something, then just,
Oh, like
Slap
you know,
in the
hot like on the stove, and you're
Yeah.
like, whoosh, like hey, like you're about to fucking hate life after that.
yeah, I don't think there's, I think like Jeff said, there's other ways you can discipline a child without having to do that.
Like put them in an internment camp or
Yeah.
a
that's
little
a good
box
one.
or something.
Yeah, like Chad was saying, basically slave labor. That's a good way for little
slave
kids.
labor is excellent.
Yeah,
That to me, that and cussing, because comedy gold is always going to be elderly people and kids cussing. You hear a 7-year-old say bitch
It's
for the
fucking
first time,
hilarious. It's
and
hilarious,
it just
dude.
makes your day.
yeah.
That's that and slave
Like-
labor.
Oh yeah,
Thank you.
we were playing.
fuck yeah.
We were playing Sorry.
Oh,
You know that game,
wow.
Sorry?
All right,
Yeah, where you bump everybody.
Yeah, and I had pulled the Sorry card, and I knocked out the oldest child, and he just looked at me and he goes, "Fuck you!" But with his hands up, like he's just like appalled, like he could not get a fucking piece like out.
Oh, that's great.
And he literally quit. He just like like within 5 minutes, he's like, "I'm done. I'm not playing anymore."
I'm gonna go to my room and not eat any food.
I installed all kinds of shit on my router, like I so that I can see all the individual devices and just shut them down. You know, if like their cell phones or PlayStations, Xboxes, anything.
Oh, so you guys are literally sharing the same pipe now.
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. No, that's fair enough. You are the family IT administrator.
Oh yeah, no, I could fucking shut
behind
anybody
me.
down like
Yeah.
in the house. They wouldn't even know what was going on. They don't even know I have it. You know, like if like I'm about to start turning off the oldest ones because he goes into his room and he just watches YouTube till like fucking 2 a.m.
Oh.
and he doesn't go to sleep.
What
And
does
he
he
like
watch?
wakes up. The
Is it like-
most annoying, horrible shit that you could
See how
ever
serious he
possible
just
fucking
got?
see. No, I
Like what?
I
Like what?
swear.
You should get a proper firewall and limit
No.
it so that he could only look at Pornhub at that time.
No, for real, like I'm curious. Like, what is the 10-year-old kid watching? Like on YouTube? Do you know?
Why do you want to know so bad?
I was just interested because I don't watch the same things. So it's
This
like-
one, the oldest one, is really into a YouTuber called Leafy.
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 Okay.
And
What
all
does
he
Leafy
does is watch other stuff on YouTube.
Reaction videos.
You're not seeing him. You're seeing what he's watching. So there's
Do you hear him comment on
YouTube.
it?
yeah,
Inception?
he's talking about it. No, he's just going like, look at this guy. He's a fucking piece of shit.
Oh.
I swear to God, if a fucking meteor came down and hit him right in the fucking head and killed this piece of shit, I would not give a fuck.
Yeah.
He's so fucking stupid.
So it's like the Aussie.
It's
guy.
commentary.
Have you
It's
seen the
just
Aussie guy?
commentary, but it's not funny. It's not witty. There's nothing clever about it. It's just some 17, 18-year-old kid just throwing out, vulgar stuff for no reason on just targeting,
Whoever and whatever.
like the kids. They're just super into YouTube. They don't watch TV at all. Everything is like YouTube. So even when they do stuff, like they'll make their own videos, and they're like, "Oh my God, that was so cringy! Like I got to redo this." You know, like they understand like somebody trying to be good at something and then being awful like at it.
Yeah.
Like they like
interesting.
they
I
like
wonder how
apps like called Musically. Never heard of it?
idea.
I never heard of it.
Yeah.
Super popular.
The fuck's it do?
All you do is you lip sync to other music and it records you, and then it makes a video of you lip syncing, playing that music over it. That's it. So people do like they do like a rap video and they'll do like 3 lines, and it's just them going like
Yes, I need this in my life.
that's it. That's
really
all
good.
it is.
It's really good
Musically?
for a podcast.
What?
That visual, it's gonna go really well.
Oh
on this
yeah, sorry.
podcast.
They're just. It's dumb.
Shit,
It's
okay.
so stupid.
I want to do it to like rap battles and shit. See how good I am, and do like a fucking Eminem rap god. See
You
if I
totally
can keep
could.
up.
I don't know how they
It's
do it.
basically just the lazy man's version of playing a song and then recording it on video. As
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but
it
it's
syncs you
hugely
up to
popular.
it. It syncs you up to it.
Yep, it does. It syncs you up to it perfectly.
What
And
if-
so he's
wait
doing.
a minute.
That's
it syncs,
why-
it syncs your mouth up to
Yeah,
it.
yeah, because they
Don't
look
look at me.
they look
He's-
like they're
it's
singing.
his
They look
nephew.
like it's like they're moving in like fast forward or something. It's weird, like the way it's
I
cut.
need to see this.
It's very
Steven, you need to
odd.
do one right now.
I'm doing it. Yo. I'm gonna do some Adele shit. Be in
Yeah.
a shower or something. Never mind, I'll find.
Holy shit! To record video, it's 44 meg. What the hell?
They're short videos. They're like a couple of seconds.
So what else is he? What else is he looking at? So he's not eating anything. So he's spending all the time on
He
YouTube.
watches
and,
like Joey's World Tour.
the fuck is Joey's?
It's just some fat dude who just eats fucking food.
Oh,
Like he does.
like Guy Fieri.
He does like a no. This
him laugh.
dude is like 400 pounds,
Uh-huh.
and they loved watching this video where he calls it the hands free challenge, which is where you just eat food with your face. Like that's it. You just eat food with your face.
Sounds fun. Yeah,
So
I'd do it.
This guy just like takes a whole tub of Nutella and just dumps it on a plate, and he's in his shitty apartment, and he's just eating it like a fucking savage, fat piece of shit animal, like just with his face like on a
Basically
plate, like a
pig
trough,
eating out of a trough.
out of a trough, just eating it with his face, and then he goes to McDonald's and just orders food, and he just records himself like eating it. Like they just watch the most dumb nonsense.
Yeah, this is like Dave Letterman back in the early days, except not interesting. Like seeing somebody, seeing somebody like eat without their hands, like just eat a pie or something, that's nothing. However, seeing a guy wearing a suit made out of Alka-Seltzer dunked into a big water tank, I can get behind that. I don't know why.
That's interesting, but
They're the same level of moronic, stuff, but at the same time, this just feels
everything
dumb.
is novelty to them, right? They basically have not existed until now, so everything is like new and fresh to them.
Yeah.
When they see something on YouTube, they think like, "Oh, this is the first time this has ever been done." So it's interesting to see how their perspective, of the world. They don't know that there's already been 27 Spider-Man movies. They don't understand that.
There's been
That's
more
not-
Spider-Man remakes than there have been presidents in the past decade.
Yeah, for sure.
Give it another year and a half.
Yeah, so that's at this point, like they love to just show me videos and clips. I was gonna say something. Some of it's funny. Like he showed me this old Vine video where there's this really fat kid, and all he does is these little like 7-second skits, and they're like these self conversations. You know how like a comic will get up on stage and kind of like do a voice like they're talking to somebody,
Yeah.
right?
Like early Jim Gaffigan or something.
Yeah, exactly. And
I don't like that. Like that.
why is he saying that? What kind of comedian is this? Yeah, he like voices the. So then the kids. I watch all these videos. I'm like, God, this is so dumb. And then he takes his arm up to his mouth, and he puts his mouth like in the crease of his own elbow to make like a fart sound.
In the crook.
Yeah, and he goes, and then he talks to himself and goes, "Oh, that's cool. Let me try." And then he goes, and then all of a sudden, like shit explodes onto his face, and he's like, "Oh, ew!" Like he farted on his own face out of his fucking.
He
like,
sharted
elbow.
out of his elbow.
He sharted out of his elbow.
So
Yeah.
fucking retarded.
I was like, oh my god! But it got me. Like it got me. Like I was dying.
and
like,
you subscribed.
No, Vine doesn't even exist anymore. Apparently,
No, it's gone.
Vine's gone.
It's gone.
So there's like little stuff like that.
Well, it's kind of cool, like, because it kind of shows, like, because everybody can record anything now because of their phones. So it just shows what people will throw up and what other people will watch. Because if it's just somebody eating food, like, anybody can do that. But, you know, not everybody can make a thing out of Alka-Seltzer, but anybody can go buy, you know, 5, I don't know, large fries and then just eat them as fast as they can. Like, I don't know. That's kind of cool, I think.
Yeah, no, I can't explain why some of them, you know, catch on or don't. Oh, here's one thing. So, like, did you guys see the little uproar of, PewDiePie. You guys all know who PewDiePie is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you hear, like, the Nazi fucking allegations? And then YouTube canceled their show that he was doing with Disney?
I didn't care. I didn't read it.
Okay, well, basically, the
Some
Washington
anti-Semitic shit, didn't he?
No, he didn't. But they put the Washington Post put a team of people to watch through 900 of his videos,
God.
and they basically
What a terrible job.
They basically
Oh,
clipped
sad.
out anything where he was making a Nazi reference.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you go on the internet, people make Nazi jokes and stuff
All
like,
the time.
Yeah, I mean, there's games about Nazis.
Yeah. Wolfenstein. Capital Wolfenstein.
How about all the Treyarch Call of Duty games, like the Nazi, you know, whatever,
Fucking
the zombie games?
What was their
Indiana
point to go
Jones.
and root all that out?
Nobody knows.
Like, why would they want to just...
They don't.
Destroy this
No
one
one can
YouTube
explain.
star.
No
He was a
one can
Trump, he was a
explain
Trump
why.
supporter. That's what it was.
I don't know. Plus,
He's in Sweden. Who cares?
He's
Swedish? It was a
He's,
joke. I don't
he's
know.
definitely not a Trump supporter. But
No.
the thing is they literally found like 2 minutes of what they say are bad stuff out of 900 like hour and a half long videos. Mm-hmm. That's a ridiculous amount of time.
wait, he was doing a deal with Disney?
Yeah.
That's why, because he pissed off the wrong people, and Disney doesn't put up with any of that shit. Because you have to be so squeaky clean.
No, but Disney
that-
didn't care. The thing is, the Washington Post
Yeah, it
produced a hit piece,
Oh,
and then went to Disney and said, "You're working with this guy."
What a dick. Fuck
Yeah.
the Washington Post.
Well, the thing that sucks is
It's a dick
because
move.
PewDiePie is the #1 guy on YouTube. He's got 54 million subscribers.
Probably not
and
anymore.
Yeah.
The guy makes
That's where
a
he makes all
fuck
his
ton
money.
of money. Like he makes ungodly amounts of money.
Mm-hmm.
And all that article did, which was just completely unfounded, was eliminate the 40 jobs of all the people who were working for Disney on the project that they had basically already started working on. So all those people lost that work, that project.
Yeah.
And PewDiePie just goes back to being the fucking YouTube king, raking in money.
Well, they were H-1B people anyway, so who cares?
Oh man,
No, I mean,
No,
they
that's-
probably were, actually.
That's
I mean, think about it.
fucking such a good joke. Like, that's such a good joke.
What? It's happening all over the place.
I know.
Everybody's getting H-1B'd out. So
Fuck's H1B.
it's the work visa for the U.S.
There was a bunch of stories and people who were pissed off because Disney basically forced their own employees to train HB1 visa people to replace them and then fired them all.
Yeah,
to
like-
do the exact same job.
Like literally, I think it was like 60 or 70% of Disney's IT force.
Yep.
Doesn't
in
that
the
happen all the
US.
time?
It does.
When
yeah.
companies are moving.
It's happened with San Diego. They've done it.
But they don't- Disney didn't
a couple other
move.
places.
They didn't move. They stayed right there in Orange County, and they just literally fired 60 people and brought in 60 foreigners because they can pay them a third the rate.
That's crazy.
It's,
Well,
it's
now
literally
that's-
outsourcing locally.
That's to be fair.
Importing
the
or
H-1B visas do have requirements for how much they have to make.
Yeah, but it was less than the people
it's
were paying.
less than they were getting paid.
Yeah,
But
no,
it's not by
they,
much.
They didn't reduce anything. All they did was just swap out people. They were like, "Oh, why are we going to pay all these people $80,000 or $100,000 when we can pay foreigners $60,000 a year?"
Yeah.
And they forced them to train them all. They're like, "You either start training them or quit now." So if people stayed and got their last few months.
severance.
Yeah, it was really sad. But you had to know that story in order for
get
Chad's
that
joke
joke.
to make
Yeah.
sense.
So rewind, go back, laugh,
Yeah.
and then skip back forward.
I'll put a laugh track in there. Don't worry.
No, but I mean the whole thing.
I want to. This is the point I want to make. So the kids. So I'm sitting in line at the grocery store, and Elijah is sitting. This is the oldest one. His name's Elijah, and we're in the check stand like line where you're surrounded by like all the magazines.
Yeah.
And he sees like one of the tabloid style type magazines.
Yeah.
I don't know which one it was, but it says it was like a story about Jackie Kennedy and the unborn fetus of JFK that Marilyn Monroe had.
Okay.
And so he looks at it and he goes like, "Oh man, tonight find out about the unborn child of JFK with Marilyn Monroe. Poor Jackie, tonight on Fake News." And he just like says that. Like, I'm not even looking at him. He's just talking to himself. And so then later on I go up and he's watching YouTube and he's like, "Did you hear what they did to PewDiePie?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I can't believe all this fake news." He's like, "You can't trust anybody anymore." And he's like, he's 10. So he already like to me, I thought it was interesting because the Washington Post just poisoned 54 million 10-year-olds against ever believing anything they ever fucking say in the future, because this is a YouTube star that they love, that they know, right? They've got 9,000 hours of watching this dude. They know what this dude's about, but yet then they see a big hit piece, and then it went on all the people who are YouTube famous in that community. They all talked about it on all their shows. So they all support it. There's like the YouTube, network, community. That's a whole separate thing because, shows talk about different stuff that's happening to different shows, and the shows do commentary on the different shows. And then there's a show that just does commentary.
Never-ending.
Yeah. It's just a vicious like circle that goes in. But I just thought it was interesting that here this little dude's 10 years old, and he just, maybe not his first, but this one was like right in his face. Cause I heard a quote that said, you'll know how much bullshit the news is the day that a big story comes out regarding a topic that you're super familiar with. Anytime the news talks about a topic that you're super familiar with, you realize how awful they are. Like they don't understand the context. They won't understand like the intricacies or the nuances of that particular subject. They're just hitting you with some fucking bullet points that paint some picture that they want you to see. But here, this little 10-year-old, like, boom, you just did that to him and plus 54 other million, potential 10-year-olds that now are in the fake news, like, are on the fake news meme now.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like the news, like they operate off an old way of thinking because it's all like, I don't know, 50-year-old dudes, pumping Viagra into their veins to get hard. So like, yeah, like it makes sense that they don't know how the hell YouTube and any of that shit works. So like, there's a disconnect. Yeah, sucks. They probably shot themselves in the foot.
So talking about integrity of news sources, how do they, and things like that, where you're poisoning future generations, how does news come back from where it's at now? Because I mean, a world with no news, or where it's all fake news, is ripe for totalitarianism, or where you can't, if you don't know what's real, then it's easy for someone to pull something by you.
Yeah, I don't know. I heard somebody say, I don't know if it was like Noam Chomsky or whatever, who was saying that like there's a quote that if you don't know history, you're doomed to repeat it or whatever. Yeah. And I think it was him. I could be totally wrong, but they said that like that's actually not true. Like no history has ever really repeated itself. There are different versions and variations of it, but once something has occurred, that thing never really occurs again because we know about that specific path or that way or that thing of happening. Like no two identical. I'm not saying that we couldn't have a totalitarian thing, but we're so hyper aware of it now.
I don't know that we are hyper aware of it. And I understand what you're saying. Like, of course, it's not going to be this exact same
Right. We'll
thing.
never have like I don't think we'll ever have a World War II Germany type style thing where
No, it's
the rest of the
changed.
world will never sit back while one country just literally starts to steamroll through like 7 different countries and like, we shouldn't really be involved in that. You know, like there's too many people that are aware of like what that kind of path like fucking leads to.
Yeah, I agree, but I think the themes are what he's talking about when if you don't know history, you're doomed to repeat it. And that's kind of, it seems like that's kind of what's happening to me now. It's been so long since totalitarian regimes have kind of been in power. And I mean, that was back in the 40s. So all the people that were alive back then and knew what it meant to live under that are dead or really old. So now, with this wave of populism that's swept our country, swept the UK, is looking like it's trying to take hold across Europe. That's like the next step to totalitarianism. So it's interesting to me to see if it's been so long that we've forgotten that
What it's like.
being a populist country isn't always the best, or doesn't always lead to the best thing.
It's just so weird because, like, you would think with the rise of the internet and how everybody's connected that people would want to be more open, but it's like the backlash of it has become more isolated. Like,
See,
I want
I
it to be
think-
more walled off.
I think that's what it is. My hope is, and I've kind of thought this at least about religion, is that as things become more progressive, you're going to see more people try to claw back to the way things used to be. So the claw back is going to be more aggressive and more intense. But it still means we're moving in the right direction. It's just you have to get through the people trying to fight back to how it used to be.
I think it's to me it's more dynamic. Like it's so dynamic that I'll use your religious thing for an example. The Republican conservative base, right? The conservative base used to be heavily influenced by religious ideology. Very de facto kind of Christian, ideology.
Sure.
And now we've seen kind of like at least our government was kind of swept by the conservative this conservative labeled identity politics, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think anybody gives a fuck about the religious aspect of it. I think everybody's on board, like the new people, like the new people who are kind of participating are kind of like, they're not like, I don't think they're trying necessarily, like for example, all the people who love Trump or are okay with Trump, I don't think they didn't vote a guy with moralistic, religious, Christian principles.
Oh no,
They wanted like what you're saying, protectionism, right? For the country. Like they're saying like, yo, fuck the foreigners. We got poor people. Our wages are going down. The middle class is disappearing. Like they want those kind of ideals. It's not, I don't think the country's in a huge push for, let's start fucking over the gays again, and let's start getting rid of, abortion and all that kind of stuff.
I think you're right to the point that it's more complicated than just a single issue. But I do think you can look at obviously what's been going on Fox News the past forever about the war on Christians, it's becoming a big thing that we're being persecuted and blah 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 because we can't have our 10 Commandments at the...
Well, that's Fox News trying to speak to
agreed.
a large number of people that come under one heading. I don't think it's religion per se, because the religious right voted in a guy who isn't necessarily what you would call religious.
Yeah,
at all.
I think that shows the hypocrisy of it, because you're going to say, well, we're so staunch on abortion because of our religious beliefs, or we want school choice because we don't want to send our kids to private school or public school where they're going to have to learn about evolution.
But that raises the headline of the single issue voter. My mom being one of them. She is extremely pro-life, and from a religious point of view on that, didn't care about anything. My mother, who gets a Social Security check because she's old enough, gets my dad's pension, who worked for the government because she's old enough to do that. They hit that age and they're there now, or she is. She didn't care that he's going to cut all that. She totally turned into a laser as opposed to a flashlight. She didn't look at everything else. She looked at one issue only.
I like that analogy.
It fits. And there are tons of people who just see immigration, who just see foreign policy, who just see abortion, who just see, marriage equality, who just see this or that or whatever it is. And they totally ignore everything else because either A, it's not relevant to them, B, they've been told by somebody, Fox News, what to pay attention to, and it resonated with them, or C, some other unknown factor I can't think of at the moment. That it's, it affected someone they knew, something like that, which I guess it'd still be personal, but whatever. They only look at that one issue, and that's what they voted on. There were 3 things that basically did it in, and that was the Bernie, the feeling the burn and how he got screwed by the DNC. There was the hatred for the Clintons, which has been there since the 90s because a lot of right-wing people didn't like the Clintons then, and they don't like them now. And they hated the fact that Clinton basically brought in a black guy. They couldn't stand it. And the single issue. That's it. Those 3 categories of voters brought us to Trump, brought us to the Republicans dominating both parts of Congress. And they don't see anything else. They don't even get it. They have no idea because they can't see the forest for the tree in front of them.
Well, I think part of it too is that at least why it swings back and forth. I mean, it kind of always swings back from one party to the next because it's kind of like, well, you forget you're not happy with the current party and you think, well, the other one's better, and then you get to the other one and you're like, oh, well, this isn't as good either. So you go back, and it's kind of the short-sightedness.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you have the 2 opposing groups, and when it comes down to the decision, you ask yourself, okay, what's the most important thing to me, and which party has that on their main agenda, and then you just kind of go with that one. And so, to me, all the things that Chad said, I think play a huge part. But again, to quote somebody that I can't remember who the fuck they were, was just, it's the economy, stupid. The economy just
George H.W. Bush.
It had not recovered for the rest of the world, right? Or for the rest of the country. Yeah, Wall Street's doing fantastic. The banks are doing fantastic. The drug companies are doing fantastic. But again, watching the middle class go to like literally almost zero, nothing, and yet we're told about how great the economy was, and then they're just like, I think we're done. The Democrats had 8 years to try to put something together. You passed a bunch of cool stuff for civil rights, and there was like some legit stuff that came through. Those were all great. But at the end of the day, I gotta fucking eat. I gotta eat. I don't give a shit about the marriage thing or the gay. If some gay people have to lose some of their rights so that we, in their mind, they're thinking so that the whole country can do better economically, then we can probably let a few gay rights, if that, which I don't think that will even be a fucking thing, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, most people that are going throughout their day, abortions are just not a fucking daily issue. They're just not. That's something that we all like to talk about, right? But I'm not dealing with abortions every day. No, I'm not dealing with gay shit every day. What am I dealing with is the fact that, is my paycheck going up? Is my 401k going up? Is my housing, can I afford to buy a house?
We deal with gay shit when we record.
That's right. Yeah. That's why I come here.
I think that some people, but I actually think that those kind of religious things are a bigger issue on voting day.
They're a bigger issue if they're told to be a bigger issue. That's the thing. It's a lot of people have the last word they heard as being the biggest thing.
I think it just depends on the demographic.
Well,
like if you're talking about like somebody who's 60 and up, yeah, probably that religious shit's more. But I mean, we can see, right? Like, I don't know, whatever you want to say about polls, but right, like they keep asking people is
sure
they seeing like religion going like going down exponentially.
Well, that's exactly why I'm saying I think you're seeing the clawback, because imagine you are a 30, 40, 50, 60-year-old Christian. And this last 8 years, you've seen gay rights get passed. You've seen a lot of other things get passed that you don't believe in. And so you're seeing all the news about how Christianity is becoming smaller percentage and the nuns are becoming more and more. And so that's got to be scary to you. And so it bolsters the base to try to claw back. That's what this whole
I don't think that
campaign
was
has
the
been-
base, though. I think that's why Trump swept it.
Well, it's
because
what the-
because the religious people who came, your Ted Cruz's and your Marco Rubio's, the people who were the Christian people, those people got their fucking asses kicked
because there's too many of them.
Well, I mean, they could have settled on that when it was down to 2 or 3 of them. They could have figured out which one they were going
Look
for.
at a Trump speech. That's going to tell you right there. The man is literally as incoherent as you possibly can be at that level. If you got any more incoherent, you would be laughed out. He's almost at that point. Hell, he made a big boy speech last week?
Because he can read.
Yeah, because he could read the teleprompter. Bannon finally wrote him something that was worth reading, and he did it, and he spoke it and did the job, and everybody was like, "Oh wow, he's turned the corner." No, it's because
But do you think the modern the guy who's in college right now, or whatever, let's just say the 30-year-old conservative, is that guy religious? On
The
average,
30-year-old conservative?
the 30-year-old
Yeah.
conservative
doesn't go to
You
church,
think-
does still value his beliefs.
I would
Yes.
say he does go to church.
You think so?
I know a lot of younger conservatives, and they all go to church.
Okay. It does happen. And that's the thing. It's like, it didn't matter if they do or don't. That's irrelevant. It's whether or not they speak to an issue that they believe in, that they hold to. If he says, you're going to get to keep your guns, well, he's got that. That's the only statement he has to say.
But
They
that's
heard that and they tuned out. If he says, I'm not gonna have the government pay for abortions, those people got spoken to. They tune out. They're like, well, this is a guy for me, and they walk away. They don't care that he says this or that or anything about immigrants or any whatever. You know, as long as he says the one thing that they need to hear, they heard it and walked off.
Look,
and they got the vote.
running for president.
Compartmentalizing.
Running for president is like trying to pick up a chick who's got a boyfriend, and all you do is you listen to her complain, and then you just tell her that you're everything that you're everything that other guy's not, and you're against everything that she hates about that dude. Right? Just if he's like, oh, he's such a meathead, he always works out. Oh, I never work out, baby. I'm always trying to think about what we can do together. You know what I'm saying? Like you just say you're the opposite of like the other fucking person that you're trying to, that you're trying to beat out.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's like he caught on.
I want to go before we talk about this. I think this topic's just been dead. How much time do we have?
Let's save it if we're going to do another
Okay,
one.
I got 2 things I want to run by you guys on the next podcast.
All right,
Thanks.
wrap it up.
Stay tuned for more.
Yeah, we got to stay tuned for 7 days.
Or 14
Hang
or
in
21,
tight.
whatever.
Yeah,
Hang
whenever
in
this
tight.
comes out, who knows?
Yep, that's it. All right, see you guys.
Thanks.